it's their thought, so it's theirs.
Everybody, you can always know when it comes around. You feel fear for apparently no reason. The rush of fear, and there's nothing around. Nothing's happening that's causing it. You're sitting in your living room. You feel it. This apprehension, stress, tension, you name it. Any of those things. One of those, it's come in the room, and you're energetically aware of it. But you're in your mind, so the energetic happening isn't real. Only what's in the mind is. You see what I'm saying? The mind is not allowed to go surfing through all the levels. We give it the power to determine our behavior in the emotional, state. Whatever emotion we're going to react to, it can definitely manipulate that, the mind. But it can't be in it. You understand what I mean?
So if there's these outside influences, what options does a person have to
wake up? Wake up, see. I mean, for a long time, it might be you're watching your energy get sucked out of you in the most absurd of ways. But even that's okay, because you now know. You now know. What used to just gnaw at you because you felt this thing and you never knew what it was, and you thought you were just completely losing your mind. Now you see it. Yeah. So, I mean, to me, self-inquiry, self-realization, that's the way. It's taking all of your attention off of all this fact world and just sitting with your being. The best way that I think the best way to start is with the simple question: what's looking on my eyes? Right? And don't be satisfied with the mental answer. You don't need to be. You're having the experience. You're there. It's there. And just put your awareness in that. And just go, okay, well, what is looking on my eyes? Do I feel it in my body anywhere? Be inquisitive. Be creative. Be creative with the way you go about it. Okay, what's looking on my eyes? Where's it looking from? I could say, well, from my brain. But I don't know that to be true. I don't feel it there. I mean, it's not like going, yep, it's right here. Can you feel it? I don't. You know what I'm saying? It looks out of my eyes. It causes me to talk. It's the character, the personality, it's all that, right? But I don't feel it anywhere. You know what I mean? It's not like in my toe. So then I go, so where is it? And then suddenly, you just start expanding out and back. Out and back. And you just see this, you start seeing the world from a brighter, a higher and higher perspective. And you're looking down. And when you go back, you're well informed as to what is real here. Right? And if you keep that open, you'll stay real informed. It's top down. Right? You figure, okay, here's how we're living here, right? The next moment, it's happening. Right? It's nothing, not like the last one. It's all new bits of information flowing in. It's all new energy flowing in. All the time. That's what we're living in. It's constantly doing that. So, we need to be right there with it as it's moving on. Right? That's what happens when someone connects that cord, that thing that's looking out of their eyes. They make it find its way home, plug back into its source, right? And they're always informed. Why? Because every time that thing breathes out, the next moment happens. And when that next moment happens, it's not confusing.
There's a continuity there.
There's a continuity there. Every moment is loaded with all the information you need about that moment. It's what you're willing to access. It's what you're willing to accept. Every moment is pure heaven if you can accept it. If you're brave enough to accept it, it'll be there. Heaven every moment. And you'll realize it's nowhere. But it's always present. Right? And then you understand that, there's something different about what's going on in here. That it does know. It is informed. It is perfect. It has nothing to do with you. But if you have something to do with it, it will, if you continue, it will basically temper you. It will cut the chaff off so you can be an exact replica of it. That's sorcery. To be an exact replica of that which made you. Not you doing it backwards, where it is what you say it is. You are what it says you are. And the only way to know that is by yourself, within your own being. This is where you are. You're not in there. You're not in that book. You're not in the guy who wrote that book. You're in you. The experience is here. Here, here, here. Right? It's all right here. You have to do that. You have to be the one to be brave enough, right? Warrior, to take on your own resistance. Because you'll have it. You will resist what's ultimately right for you. And you'll see this thing that goes on in you. Almost a battle. You'll see it. But you'll be more empowered to actually fight it. There's no fighting that needs to be going on out here. Out in the world among us, there's really no reason. It needs to take place inside. Because, where are the Hitlers? In your brain. You know what I'm saying? In that ego. There's your Hitlers. There's your there's everybody who's ever been a monster. And there's a lot of monsters running around. Because that is their reality. They don't accept life itself as their being. They accept the way they've formulated their opinion about the world. That's real. Right? Devoid of all any real beneficial energy. Any meaningful act. That is definitely not the path with heart. Path with heart, most of the time you abandon the mind. Yeah? I wouldn't say really abandon it. Yeah, abandon it. You don't listen to it. Because if it has its way, you'll never be on the path with heart. That mind is influenced by things that think. The soul can't be. So when it wakes up, and it's kind of like your mind is driving because your soul's asleep in the passenger seat. Right? Once that soul wakes up and takes the wheel, everything's fine. But as long as it's sleeping from your lack of attention to it, and your mind is driving, it's like being in pitch black, your lights are only shining 5 feet out in front of you, and your eyelids are real heavy. So you barely see what's in front of you. You're swerving all the time to miss stuff. Because, oh God, there's a big bump in the road. Right? To where you put the soul back in the driver's seat, and it's lit up, the whole thing. You're not in the dark anymore. It's all lit up. You see things a mile away. You can see what you need to avoid. You will see what needs your attention. You will take responsibility for yourself, and you'll be accountable. You will hold yourself accountable for every act you do. You will have integrity. Right? Integrity, what does that mean exactly? Does it mean you don't poop anymore? Does it mean you don't have an opinion of someone anymore? No. You don't let that influence you. You have it as folly. Because sometimes it gets really heavy, and you have to laugh at some weird organization's expense. Or something that is absurd. And you call it absurd, and you laugh about it. But that's all they are. You do not allow your mental, idea of this to influence you in any way. You're supposed to be using the mind.